up, my fellow mobile gamers? In today's video, we got our best guide for the arena in anti-air DPS. I'm going to try and do a video for each different arena weekly challenge, taking a look at our popular heroes. If you're ever confused about which heroes to use, it's the easy way to just kind of click on this hourglass and see what people are using. Now, for the most part, the arena is slightly different, where even though you may have a lot more power than some of these opponents, you can get surprised because it has a lot to do with more technique, and there's a lot of silly factors that can go along with it, where people can kind of catch you by surprise by doing kind of special tactics as opposed to just trying to overpower you. So let's just go over this one. We'll do a quick demonstration. We'll just jump into this. The first thing I want to say is auto fight in arena, especially in arena, is so bad. My number one suggestion is don't use auto fight. I can't tell you how many times I've lost matches and I've used auto fight, and then I went back and I manually played it and almost did this same layout as the auto fight, and I somehow won. I don't know what it is, but auto fight just seems to never work for me. So I always try and do it manually from now on to make sure that I win. So the first thing that's going to happen for our anti-air is we're going to have a bunch of these flying units come out, and you're going to want to try and put out a marksman who's going to do AoE damage. So for this instance, I'm going to save up and I'm going to drop my Nyx right here. It is a 22 cost, which kind of sucks, but she puts out a tremendous amount of damage. And if I drop like an 11 cost or someone else, they're only kind of single targets and they really aren't going to do a lot of damage. They're only going to hit one. You'll see that this guy, he went ahead and he dropped one, and he's doing very minimal damage, only hitting one enemy. Once we get to 22, you'll see we're going to drop her now. We're going to drop her here, so that way you'll see that she can cover in front, and she covers a pretty wide area, and you're just going to start doing tons of AoE damage. You'll see we're hitting all these enemies. Our opponent went ahead, dropped their other hero, so we're kind of waiting until we get to at least 11, and then we can drop our next hero. Oh god, I missed the I missed my ultimate because I was talking too much. But yeah, definitely want to activate her ultimate the first time. The thing that sucks is I can't like pause this. You want to try and destroy as many enemies before the opponent, because the way it works is whoever has the most enemies still alive at the end of the round loses. So if we have one enemy and they have two, we are considered to win. This is the tactics that you can go by, is you only have this one enemy come down, and a lot of people will put the freeze girl right here so that you just kind of slow it, because typically a lot of people are just not strong enough to destroy it before the round ends. So the main focus is to just slow it down as much as possible, so that way it reaches the opponents and then it just does a lot of damage to the opponent. But you'll see the opponent did the same tactic as well, where they're using that slowing effect to slow it down so that way it doesn't reach and start doing damage. Because most of the battles, when we get to this round 2, people usually don't do enough damage to destroy it before the end, but oh, they actually might destroy it. That was pretty darn close. You'll see we got a round tied, so that's good. Now this is where we're going to drop our next character, and he has tons of range, so I'm going to just drop him here. We got to activate this one right here. Now this third round is going to be just like the first round. It's going to be a big horde of enemies, so we're going to need, again, AoE damage. I'm going to wait till they get a little bit deeper, and then I'm going to drop her freeze ability right now. And it's just going to, again, slow it down. That's really what you want to do, is try and do a lot of AoE damage that first round and that third round. And then that second round, when you just have that one singular enemy, if you can't destroy it, which most people aren't strong enough to destroy it, then you just try and go ahead and slow it down as much as possible. Taking a look at our opponent, they're very low compared to us, so it looks like we might actually win this round. They still have a few more enemies alive, and we're doing some decent damage so far. We still got 2. This one's about to be destroyed, and there we go. We just had raw damage. Go ahead and destroy him. We'll do one more quick run just so I can kind of go through it again, because it's just hard that you can't like pause it and stuff like that. So what I'm using for, we'll go over here. So like the instance is someone who does AoE, and you're going to need mostly marksmen. The mages aren't good for this because the marksmen are going to do more damage to those flying units. So we just have this one single target. We have another one who's single target but wide range. There are some ground units that do attack flying units. So if you have like Apsan, and I believe Zilla2 is also the other one that goes ahead and attacks airborne units as well, but she does magic damage, so she doesn't get that like bonus damage, unfortunately. One character that I'm interested in, and I need to power him up a little bit more before I can actually use him, but this guy right here, Shamir, I think is it, the Mind of the Depths guy, this water dragon, her basic attack has the slow, which does a movement speed of minus 75%. Whereas if we look at the legendary guy, his does drowning water, which is only movement speed minus 25. However, his effect can go ahead and stack. If we take a look at his passive, it is stackable up to 3 times. So he can initially reach that 75% move reduction speed, but he also increases his damage as well. So I gotta try and experiment a little bit and maybe power him up and see if he's a better use instead of using her to not only slow that enemy during the second round, but also go ahead and put out a lot of damage. So we'll have to do some experiments. Another really good marksman that you can have that I just don't have in the lineup is Maul as well. You got to put out your heroes really fast. Having a lot of high costs in your lineup can really hurt your game. I'll go ahead and make sure I don't miss it this time. We'll activate it right away. And how's our opponent doing? Wow, they yeah, see, if you have this guy right here, Hatsuit, however you say this character is insane for this arena, the anti-air. Absolutely just demolishes it. And it's kind of like, you know, there's certain heroes that are super OP for this arena, and there's like nothing you can do because they just out DPS you, their attack speed, and just, you know, that's how it is. Unfortunately, sometimes other people, they just have certain heroes, and if you don't have them, you're inevitably going to lose. We're gonna do the little freeze trick again, so we'll wait and we'll drop them now. The other thing that you can also do is I wouldn't drop my 11 cost. Instead, I would only drop Nyx for the first round, and that way I could drop the freeze girl a little bit sooner, and I'd put her like right here. That way it would kind of slow the enemy down, yeah, slightly more like up here. It kind of depends though. I really just am trying to win that first round as fast as possible. Usually gives you a good idea of if you'll be able to win or not after the second round when this enemy comes through and starts attacking this. Because right now, we'll take a look, it is another round tied, but 20% to 41. I mean, we're really, really low. We're kind of cooked at this point, and they also put down their Zilla too. Like, they have a pretty strong lineup as well. So unfortunately, I definitely don't think we're going to out DPS them for this instance, and that's strictly because of this broken legendary. We'll go ahead and we'll drop our freeze. I mean, the only thing we can do is say that we do have the frost on our advantage where they do not have the frost. They're not using that frost tactics like I am. So, you know, it kind of depends, but I really do like this idea. This is for like more players who don't have all that kind of like really strong legendary heroes. You can do kind of like some special tactics where you try and slow the enemies down. But you'll see they're starting to catch up, but it's going to be close. If we can destroy this one enemy, it's going to be really close. Hey. Come on, one more. Oh, that was damn close, guys. I mean, look at that. There was no HP left on that. That's crazy. Wow. There was no HP bar. I'm gonna zoom in. I'm gonna zoom in when I edit this, and you see that the HP bar was literally, there was no red there. That's crazy. That was so close. But that's it. I hope you guys and girls enjoyed the video. Stay happy, stay safe, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.